All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Tube Talk the podcast. We're on episode what? I've already lost track. Is this 4? Episode 4?
Four.
Season 2, episode 4. Yes, sir. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and share with all your friends and family, man. We got a lot going on. We got a large community building piece by piece every day. And if you want to be a part of it, man, hit that subscribe button. Share with all your friends and family. Let's get on with it, man. We got some NBA basketball to talk about. We got some local basketball to talk about. We got some women's basketball to talk about. We got a lot of basketball to talk about. All right.
Basketball.
And we got the NBA game going on right now. We got the Thunder versus Pelicans on the background right now. And right on topic, the Thunder have a lot going on, a lot of interesting stuff going on. So that could be our first topic of the day.
A lot of unfortunate things going on.
Yeah, unfortunate, yeah.
Unfortunate. No, I can't do that. Unfortunate Chet.
No. All right, nice try. Nice try. His attempt there was because
that was clean. That was clean.
Chet Holmgren is out. I believe 8 to 10 weeks is what the report is. Hopefully he comes back sooner and healthy and ready to go. He had a phenomenal start to the season, but the Thunder are officially out of centers. Their starter, bench, and reserve center are all injured. Jalen Williams is starting. What do you guys think of that?
I have a wild take on this.
Oh, God.
Because already throughout the season, they played multiple lineups where they did not have a center on the court, or like multiple times. Throughout the 8 games that I watched, they had times where 10 minutes throughout the game, they didn't have a center. Their zone defense with Cason Wallace, with Lou Dort, with Jalen Williams, J-Dub specifically, I don't think that they necessarily need a center to make their team work. I think they benefit more from having Chet. Of course, I think it's crazy to say that, they don't need him. But I don't think I think the team still works without a center right now for a short period of time.
So I have something to tag on to that crazy take. With that in mind, and the recent woes going on over there in Milwaukee, are you more prone to saying, I'm willing to give you some first-round picks and Chet if you give us Giannis in return?
No, I don't think there's any trade OKC does where they trade away Chet.
But I'm saying by your logic, let's say you put yourself in their shoes, by your logic, do you believe that Chet is a necessary piece to move to get somebody of Giannis's caliber?
Yeah, I think
if you were the owner, do you believe that's a move that you could be interested in pursuing?
I would. There's very few people that I would consider making a trade for. That includes Chet, and he is not one of them. Giannis.
Even if you think you don't need him, but your words.
So I think they need him to go far for a championship. I don't think that they need him playing every game. I think that they do without him at times.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
You would be sick to trade Chet, I think.
I also agree.
I don't think the timetables for Giannis and these specific young players match up well. But, if I'm looking at it as like this is the opportunity this year to win, and this team has a lot to win, and of course you make that trade. But for right now, I don't think that makes sense all the way. Maybe if they go trade for like Al-Star and Yoon or something like that, that would be the only time it would make sense to me.
Who? The Thunder?
OKC, if they were trying to get like a Al Shangoon or someone who kind of fits their system a little bit, like Chet does.
That's really interesting. I don't dislike that. I don't dislike that at all. It would
have to be a major move like that.
And
I just wouldn't trade Chet though.
No, I assume you mean for like first round picks.
Yeah, Chet and some first round picks for Al Shangoon.
No. Chet and first round picks?
Yeah,
for Şengün?
Yeah, Şengün does a lot.
Golly. Şengün is an amazing center.
Chet and first
I just
round
think
picks?
Chet has the ability to be an alien.
I mean, you could tear them up. You can team them up together. I don't think
yeah, that's what I originally thought you were saying.
Yeah, but you at the end of the day, like whatever happens, I think that does sound really nice though. Like that would be dope. But at the end of the day, with this team, yeah, the timetables are very important with this team. Timetable, like how young they are, when they're ready to start winning, when winning's supposed to be happening. I think we're at a point now when they have to start winning some type of playoff matchup this year. They don't have to win the whole thing, but they have to win a playoff matchup.
So knowing that they have to win a playoff matchup, going back to what we talked about, would you trade for Giannis, knowing that they need to win?
I would trade for Giannis if it depends.
Shay's 25, 26. Yeah. J-Dub is not young. J-Dub is 24, I believe. He was drafted as a 22-year-old rookie. Do you think Giannis fits that timeline?
Man, I think Giannis is about 2 years past the window of them. if that makes sense.
That's fair. That's
Giannis,
fair.
what, like 33 now?
30.
30? He's just 30?
Yeah.
Then I might have to reconsider. Yeah, I might have to reconsider that because if he's 30 years old, you got two players going into their prime. You got one player in his prime. You know, they complement each other as well.
I don't think, and I think it's a cool and fun conversation to explore. I do not believe that the Thunder are prepared yet. I don't think that the regular season success is really showing that they're ready. I still think they can be relatively easily beat in the playoffs.
Ready for what, though?
To win a championship. I don't think they're ready now, and I think going for Giannis means we're ready now. And I don't think their players are ready yet.
100%.
I think those players have to continue to go through woes to really develop that grit of understanding what it takes to win.
Exactly.
I think they went to the playoffs last year
Yeah,
They lost to Dallas.
in the first round, right?
Second round.
No, I mean the year before.
Year
The
before.
first year of Chet,
Year before.
where he was injured. They did
I
not make the playoffs.
I believe that they did make it, and I think they lost to OKC
Let's see.
or
I have
to
this-
Golden State.
I have a
No,
stats
they didn't make
up
the playoffs.
right now. So
Didn't
what
make
year
it.
would it have been? They did not make
20,
the playoffs.
23, 24.
They did not make
Or
the playoffs. So we're looking at the
22-23.
first time they make the playoffs as this unit. They made the playoffs with Chris Paul, but as this unit, this is the first time they make the playoffs. They make it to the second round. I don't believe a young group is prepared to pursue a championship just yet. I think they're in the same general stage as Luka was when he went to the conference finals the first time, or as Trae Young when he went to the conference finals the first time. Like they're in that stage of we get it, but we're not there yet. It doesn't click in our head like it clicks for the Celtics, like it clicks for the Bucks. You
Yeah,
know,
it took a while.
this current Bucks, not unfortunately not so much, but you know what I mean, right?
2021.
Like it clicks for the Nuggets, like it clicks for these other teams. I don't think it clicks in their head yet. I think they're still going to be prone to making mistakes and moving too fast when they're not supposed to, and doing too much when they're not supposed to. So I don't think it's fun to discuss Giannis to the Thunder. I don't know how Giannis sees it. I don't know what he believes in and what teams he favors.
He would have to be patient. He would have to give them at least another year of playoff experience before he takes them all the way serious.
Yeah, and the word around town is that his preferred destination is Miami, right?
And the Nets.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that actually in a second, but that goes back to my point. Having Miami as a preferred destination is because this franchise gets it. You know what I mean? Like they understand what is required to win. They understand the hard work and the sacrifices that need to be made, the discipline that is needed to win a championship. I'm not going there because they have the best talent. Arguably, they don't out of all the teams available for him. You know what I mean? But they have the best chance if you add a talent like myself. You know what I mean? It's unrealistic to join Jokic or Embiid or LeBron or Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? It's unrealistic to join them.
Now,
So he has to go for that route. So that's my take on. It's fun to discuss Giannis to the Thunder, but I just don't think either sides are prepared for that.
Back to what you said, though, how many years do you think they're away? Because I think realistically they're 1, maybe 2 years away.
I do too.
I think that this team is a fantastic matchup for the Celtics. I think this would be the ideal matchup for them. I think Dallas, though, is like when it comes to Luka could just go nuclear on teams, and I think Luka is just a hard matchup to face. It's just Boston had more firepower. With Chet, I don't think Dallas beats him. They lost in 6.
Yeah, I agree. 1 or 2 years. I think this is 1 year. I think next year could be 2. Yeah, 1 or 2 years. I think this is very similar situation to the Celtics. It has a lot of similarities. It has a lot of guys we're drafting, we're building from the bottom. You know what I mean? We add ourselves a Derek White type of player to mesh everything together.
They have a
Same
great
way how
two-way
they
guard.
add themselves a
Alex
Isaiah.
Caruso.
Is it Isaiah Hartenstein?
Oh,
right?
that was
Isaiah
Alex.
Hartenstein.
Caruso, yeah, but Caruso will be another example. So it's very similar how they're trying to make it to their destination, which is a championship. And look at the Celtics; they had to fail. You know, you could say, "Oh, they ran into LeBron," or "This happened, that happened," but they didn't get eliminated by LeBron every time, right? So there's factors that they had to go through. There's ups and downs they had to go through. Jason Tatum wasn't prepared to win a championship his 3rd or 4th year. You know, it took him that 6th, 7th year to really get it right. Jaylen Brown took him years to get it right. I think they have to get it right, and they look great in the regular season, but I think that's typical. You know what I mean? That happens. People will look great in the regular season, but you're just not prepared to play playoff basketball.
Yeah, 2 triple doubles back to back. One more question before we move forward. There's been some commentary around this. Do you trade J-Dub for Kevin Durant?
I think that's another.
And bring the boy home. You know, go for a championship at home, just like LeBron James did.
If KD
cements a legacy.
Yeah, if KD goes back home, he's going on like a friendly deal. It's not no max.
Well, it would most likely be a trade.
Yeah, that's dumb. That doesn't make that. I wouldn't clear any assets for KD. KD's been proving that, but KD by himself is not a.
He wouldn't be by himself.
Yeah,
he's on the Thunder.
Yeah, but you're trading a lot for KD.
You're trading J-Dub most likely.
You're not giving up more than J-Dub for KD.
You're tripping. It's KD.
His last trade wasn't even
They have
crazy.
so many picks in the chest, they would really only need one player.
What was his last trade? Like, what did they give up for?
A lot.
5 first-round picks?
Yeah,
the players, they would give way more than that.
And we're talking 3 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could give 4. They could get away with 4. When you add J-Dub, the Suns didn't have anybody to add that would be significant to J-Dub's talent.
You give up J-Dub, you're giving up like 10 to 8 serviceable All-Star years. For what? KD?
Oh no, but I'm just saying. But I'm saying
is a trade
I'm saying the trade
terrible
is
idea?
possible. That's what I'm saying.
I
The
don't
trade
think
is
it's a
possible.
terrible idea, but I think if it's like for the longevity of the franchise, it just doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I wouldn't do it either.
But would it be the worst trade? Is what I'm asking.
It wouldn't be the worst.
It wouldn't be the worst trade. I don't believe they'll get out of it what they would want.
Yeah, it's not a champion to me. It's not a championship team.
Yeah, it's not. It's really difficult to guarantee that this version of Kevin Durant is going to lead you to a championship.
Not with this team.
Yeah, I think we're looking at it. He's what is he going to do to the team? He's going to deter Shea. He's going to deter Chet. You know, I think, in my opinion, he's deterred Booker. I don't know how people feel about it. I do feel like he has. I think he has to take a step back so Booker can be the guy. Because that's my opinion, I guess. But
he made Booker be a point guard. That doesn't work.
I didn't get to.
Well, he didn't. The front office
true.
made a lot of bad decisions to force Booker into the point guard position. But go ahead, keep going. My bad.
I was gonna say, just to comment on that, Thunder, they are exactly like the Celtics. They're a lot better sooner than what they thought they would be. So now you're in a mode where like, do I add or do I subtract or do we go get a superstar? And that's a very scary realm because there's a lot of things that they could do that could not be positive for them if they don't stick with this nucleus. And I think this nucleus of J-Dub, Shea, and Chet in 2 years could be the best 3. I think the best 3 players together in NBA.
Yeah, because bro, surrounding them, they all do
different things.
People don't talk about it much, but Casey Wallace might be one of the best guard defenders in the league right now.
Might be one of the best shooters in the league too. You also got a couple players as well, like their backup reserve center. He's not bad at all either.
Nikola Topic, shout out the 2K idea that we're working on, expansion to champion. His ACL is torn right now. He's gonna be back soon.
He's not gonna play though.
But I do see him playing next season.
We'll see. But I don't think so. I don't want to get into that debate, but I don't think so. I mean, I'll say one small thing about it. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a conversation. But I'll say one small thing. But you look at someone like Okc'S, who had all the talent in the world to really get playing time here. It's like it's very difficult to fit somebody new into what they're building. I think Topic suffers from that same thing. It's going to be very difficult to fit somebody new.
Way too many picks now.
Yeah, they need to use the Thunder are in one of the most difficult positions possible. To me, it's fascinating how well they did in orchestrating all these assets, but how difficult of a situation it's going to be to manipulate those assets into something because like, what are you going to do now? Like, the players we keep drafting continue to be great for us. So like, what are we supposed to do now? Like,
that's the worst problem to have.
Where are we drafting players to? Who are we sending them to? If we send first-round picks to someone, we're going to get a good caliber player in return. So now where is this good player going to fit in? You know what I mean? So it's like we looked at it at first as, oh, my gosh, Sam Presti did a phenomenal job of getting all these picks, which he did. Phenomenal GM work by him. But there is a double-edged sword here. You know what I mean? There is a now that I have them, what am I going to do with them? You know what I mean?
That's, I think, like wherever they end up this season, I think we're going to agree. We don't see OKC winning a championship this year, right?
I don't think it's out of the realm.
It's possible, but I do believe things would have to go wrong for other teams. Exactly. I don't believe every team at their best, OKC is the team to get a championship.
So we'll say what? They're like the 5th, maybe 6th in the odd chamber. So
no, I put them in a top 4.
Four. They're 4 for me. I would say.
High, though. If you're putting them in a 4 realm, that's high.
They lost to the team that went to the finals last year. That's the only team they lost to.
I'm not saying that you're wrong for doing that. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to give you a picture. I'm painting a picture. Let's say they end up a 4th seed and they lose in the 2nd round. I think that next year you start leveraging those picks. You start using those picks to add those players that can really get you a championship. Those players that will be free. I don't know who, like Jimmy Butler's a free agent next year. You put Jimmy Butler on this team, it's a great team, and he fits in seamless, and he doesn't need to take over 20 jump shots.
Yeah, that's the type of move that they could go for. That's the type of move.
That's the exact move they should be thinking about.
That's a good place to offload your assets. Getting some disgruntled. Yeah, getting some disgruntled players could also go in your favor. Like, who knows what Bam's going to feel like at the end of the season. He's not having the best year.
If they get a Bam, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, they get a Bam, Jimmy Butler.
Very unselfish players that are okay with playing defense, and I don't need 20 shots a game.
Yeah.
Because Shea's going to take his 20. That's going to happen. You mess that system up if you take Shea's 20 away. I think that system's not the same.
And Chet's on his way, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not for 20 shots a game, but
I think realistically, I think they have a good setup. They have to figure out what to do with those picks. Defensively, though, this team is ridiculous.
You got a Jimmy Butler
imagine on this team. Imagine you have someone like Dyson Daniels playing defense, like how he's been playing lately.
Yeah, speaking of Dyson Daniels, shout out to him. I had it listed on my notes because I wanted to just mention the fact that man. Listen, defensively, I don't think there's a better player in the league right now in the perimeter. I don't think there's a better defender in the perimeter this season so far than Dyson Daniels. There's other guys that are doing a great job too, but with the amount of minutes that he gets and the stops that he's been able to force, he's holding some of the best players in the league to 35% and under. Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, some of the best players in the league. 10 to 12 game sample size. Of course, doesn't mean much, but that means his top tier matchups, they can't score on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
He's doing great.
He kind of proved us wrong too. Not exactly, but you know how we always say that getting steals doesn't prove that you're a good defender? Bro, the last 3 games, 6 steals, 7. That's ridiculous.
But his steals are different.
His are on ball.
His steals are different. He's
picking your pocket.
Yeah, if you are one of these, listen, kids, if you're trying to get a lot of steals, you need to study people like Dyson Daniels, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle, Kawhi Leonard.
Those players are doing it too. They're studying their matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like getting steals has to be a science. It can't just be I'm going to go out there and play every passing lane. You know what I mean? Because you're going to leave your teammates high and dry very often. And those guys understand. They understand the sequence of what's going to happen. They understand player tendencies. They understand what this player is looking for. When this player is going to do what, and they predict that, and they go for those steals, and they get in the way of those passing lanes because they know that's the next thing that's going to happen, not because I'm just gambling. You know what I mean? Like, they know when Jokic does this, we're going to see Michael Porter Jr. spot up here. So when I'm going to keep my eyes open, and if I can, I'm going to go for it.
He's an anticipatory player, I think it is, instead of reactionary. He anticipates the movement that they're going to make because he knows.
That word before. I definitely just discovered.
I just made it up in my mind.
That's
I think
what I figured.
Anticipatory. I forget how to say it. I'm not saying it wrong, but he anticipates the play that's going to happen because he knows his matchup. He knows if they go left, they're going to be looking for this. He knows if the play is moving to the right or they're cutting. Understanding. Do you think the Pelicans are a poverty franchise that just ruined his development?
I think the Pelicans these last 2 years prior to this were really overstaffed at guard. Between Herbert Jones, between that rookie they got now, I think he's a second-year player. He's a really good shooter.
Hawkins?
Yeah, Hawkins. You got Alvarado. You had, what's his name, CJ McCollum. They were just really overstaffed.
I don't think the Pelicans did anything wrong with him. I mean, it's hard to decide who would you play him over to give him more opportunities.
Hawkins,
especially with Jose Alvarado.
But Hawkins has proven to be pretty effective in what they're looking for.
Yeah, he's a shooter. He spreads that court out.
Yeah, that's what Dyson Daniels doesn't do.
With someone like Zion and
perfect match made in heaven. He's always gonna have a job too.
I'm happy he went to the Hawks though. The Hawks look like they really enjoy him. And Trae Young is literally allergic to defense, so having someone that could actually play defense has been fantastic for them.
He's a good backcourt mate to have with.
Doing pretty good too.
With Trae.
What you say?
The Hawks rookie's doing pretty good as well.
Can you smell?
Yeah. No, he dropped 30. I think recently. I think it was like.
Yeah, just had a seizure.
Yeah, he's actually doing pretty straight. He might be rookie of the year.
Zachary Richardson?
Yeah, you know what it says?
No, definitely. I don't even think I said his first name.
Zachary Versace is killing
Versace.
Ferrero Rocher. That's what I'm gonna call him from now on. Those are good though, actually.
Those are really good.
Yeah. That's Chine.
What's really good?
Ferrero Rocher, the chocolate ones, not the other two.
What the hell?
What is wrong with you? You don't like him?
I do. How did I even come up?
Oh,
Zachary Richardson.
No. Oh my
We called
God.
him Ferrero Rocher.
Speaking of off topic, was not on my notes, but I did just see it today in a reel.
It's now in the notes.
Okay, now it's on the notes. What's that called? Numbers on the board. They had one of their little challenges. The do it all the way to the left. I think he also goes by D Mills, if I'm not mistaken. No, what's
Is it the guy on the left? Is D Mills the fat guy?
B Mills, yeah, him.
B Mills.
Yeah, it's B Mills because what you call it? He always shouts out Brandon Miller for being another B Mills, but it doesn't matter either way. Him, the guy from Numbers on the Board, he did one. His challenge was rank I think hit songs, and like he tried his best to play it off. But Kenny was like low key upset that they tried to go off topic and do basketball. Oh god damn!
When we had 50, off topic real quick. When we had 50.
God damn, my bad, y'all.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I feel like we have to.
No, yeah, Wemby just scored 50 points, ladies and gentlemen. We'll look up his stats in a second, but
and guess who's coaching him right now? No offense.
This man is a certified hater, bro.
You don't think the assistant coach does everything Pop says? Like, come on now, stop it.
I don't think Pop is. Man, let me stop.
Yeah, please. Okay. Ranking the top hits.
Whatever. On Numbers of the Board, B Mills. B Mills was ranking his challenge for the day was to rank the random hits in order 1 through 5, blind rank them. Whatever, and Kenny was like visibly upset of the fact that he chose something unbasketball related, and he tried his best to play it off. But like, if you watch it, I could sense the vibe. Like he wasn't a fan of it, But he had to play it off because they were on camera, so he had to try his best to just keep it jokey. But like, if you watch it, like if you've seen Numbers on the Board enough, and you know Kenny's persona, like
you could see
you could sense the vibe that it was bothering him because he kept. And focusing on the fact that it was non-basketball related, he's like, "What are we, a music podcast now?" I was like, "Yeah, you low key, you mad? Can you you could tell that B Mills
he
did
can't
not
hide that in his
discuss this.
face, bro.
You could tell B Mills did not discuss it with him, and he was like, "What the hell are we doing? We're a basketball podcast." But that just reminded me because you
actually
our
about next
Ferrero
topic
Rocher.
Ranking Drake songs.
No, that's not our next topic for this. That is not.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Is Ja out tonight?
I believe so. I'm not even sure.
I wanted that rematch.
I don't know, but shout out to him on fantasy. I don't have him, but because he was out one game last week, I won. So shout out.
For some reason, Ja just reminded me of the Warriors because they had a little beef. But speaking of the Warriors, now Klay Thompson played against the Warriors yesterday for the first time.
Pretty good game.
Had himself a good game. Yeah, had himself a good game. 20-something points, made about 6 threes. Did a pretty good job. Mavericks almost had it. Warriors, of course.
Someone else had a better game.
Another Stephen Curry moment. Steph had a better moment, better game, and did a little comeback win. It wasn't a crazy comeback. I think they were only down probably like 6 or something. But the Mavs did have a lead. I'd say in clutch time they had a lead, and then the Warriors came back. So that was a good game. How do y'all feel about watching Klay? against the Warriors for the first time.
It was sad, bro. Like I almost cried.
Damn.
Like me and Noah, my girlfriend, we were sitting on the couch, and like they're doing the promo for it, and bro, I got sad. And then at the end of the game, Steph Curry's going crazy. I had to get up and play 2K myself, and like get up a couple shots.
You saw Curry talking shit. He was like, "You miss it here. You miss it here." You saw that? That was crazy.
I love it though.
He hit the clutch shot. He started going to the crowd. He started yelling at the top of his lungs. You missed it here.
I had to take my shirt off after I saw that. Took my shirt off, popped open a bottle of Malta, got on 2K to start taking up some shots.
The Warriors are crazy right now. They're doing really good.
I know. Real quick on the Clay thing, there's a quote from Batman, and it was Batman with the Joker, I'm pretty sure, with Heath Ledger, where he's like, you either, you die or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and he definitely has become the villain.
You die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
He died a hero, and he just didn't give up, and unfortunately, the Infinity Stones brought him back.
That was Harvey Dent. It wasn't the Joker.
It was Harvey Dent, right? He said that. Yeah, man, and I think he's at that era right now, man. I think he's always gonna have a good game.
He's not the villain though. They showed love. They didn't. There was no negativity in that game at all.
Clay, I think Clay's trying really hard to be the villain.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think he ever will be.
You think so? I don't think so. I think Draymond's trying to be the villain in this whole situation. I don't think.
Well, Draymond's a villain just naturally.
Yeah,
that man kicked in one playoff run. He kicked 3 people in the nuts
and lost that year. I remember that. He lost.
Clay doesn't give me the vibe that he's trying to be a villain though.
Clay always does.
Likes them as much as we think that he does.
I think Clay loves drama. I think Clay loves drama.
You think Clay's messy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
he absolutely is.
He likes to start shit for sure.
He's a reasonable warrior.
I also love drama too. I love drama so much.
Call LeBron a bitch. LeBron said, "I'm not a bitch."
Listen, I'm a LeBron stan, but they only won that because of Draymond kicking people in the nuts.
Nah, they won that.
If Draymond did not kick people in the nuts 3 times.
Nah, I'll tell you, Clay called him a bitch, and he's just like, you know what? I'm showing you a bitch. Started dropping 40 every night after that.
That's good. That's good. Draymond was there to guard him. Draymond's the GOAT. You saw Draymond had 40% truth in that
Draymond's
series.
the funniest NBA player I know.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of Draymond, actually, I'll let you finish your thought, but that just reminded me of something.
I was just thinking about that Jordan Poole thing still.
Oh God!
Ooh.
Did you watch that game actually recently? The Wizards versus the
Warriors.
That's what I
was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I thought you were still talking about the punch. Okay, never mind.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh wait,
What punch?
What punch? Did I miss something?
Yes,
Jordan
you
Poole and
did.
Draymond? Draymond punched him in practice?
Oh no, I know that.
Oh.
I'm about to say you must be.
I thought he
you
punched
living
him.
That
under
was like a
rock.
major event that happened.
Oh, I thought he punched him again. I was like, damn. Draymond.
He tried to
Oh,
kick
no.
him in the nuts.
That's crazy.
No,
No, but
sir.
speaking of Draymond, I actually promised one of my friends, he was watching the podcast, and it sparked a conversation in our group chat about star players. And we had a very long-winded debate about just in general. I guess he thinks my perception of a star in the league is a little bit too much. By my standards, there would be a lot of stars, but I disagree. So I wanna get y'all opinion on I'm gonna ask y'all 2 things, but the first question for each of you is, how do you define a star? Not a superstar, right? Not a franchise player, not a generational talent, just a star in this league, a celebrity in this league, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, how do you define that? What do you need to do to be a star?
Can I give you examples, and then we go from there?
You can't, but that's the next question I have.
Here, before you give examples, you want me to answer then? And then you give examples?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a star is a player on a notable player on a team that has popularity, and usually has good performance. But they mainly have the popularity. They're talked about a lot. I think that makes a star.
Do you think a star needs accolades to back it up, or can you be a star
I think
with
an
no
all-star
accomplishments?
an all-star needs accolades. A star doesn't. Like Zach LaVine on the Bulls is a star.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think a star is more like a player who, to me, a star is LaMelo Ball, a John Morant. Players that are good, but they're not like world beaters, but they're almost there. I think another player like Jalen Brunson. I think of another player like Tyrese, Maxey. Those players that are like budding superstars, but still good enough to like, because a star can't win by itself. Obviously, no, I don't think any player can anymore. But yeah, those are the kind of players I think star. I think stars sell jerseys I think star. When I think of star, I think of anywhere he goes, anybody's gonna want to go.
Stars make you cry. Apparently, you're tearing up.
Yeah. But no. In general, I think stars. I think stars in general are like just people are just naturally attracted to them. Like Jimmy Butler had that for a little bit, where people were just naturally attracted to him. They want.
You don't think he's a star anymore?
I don't. That's a different debate.
So wait, do you for you wouldn't consider people all-stars? It's either star or superstar?
No. I mean that there are all-stars, but yeah, I think there is just a superstar and star. Okay. I don't think there is nothing fine line between that. I can't think of a middle player or a middle ground player in between that.
In my world of defining players, I don't necessarily have a category named for that Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey level player. I've never really thought about it that way. I don't consider them superstars, but I consider them, close to it. With the potential of it. I would put, in my eyes, the star name that I'm giving is below that. So stars to me is similar to what Tyler said. It's notable players. It's players who can put up production to be one of the best players on a team. Whether that team is good or not, whether this guy is leading this team far, it doesn't really matter. You're just a notable name. Yeah. You can be a notable player in this league.
Paolo a star to you?
Paolo's definitely a star. Yeah.
Paolo's an all-star to me.
I'm gonna keep going. John Morant.
Yeah,
all-star.
Sure. John Morant. So my category of star is below that. So John Morant is a category above that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then superstars would be your Jason Tatum's, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, your generational talents, your franchise players.
Players you can't be nothing.
Yeah, players who are damn near untouchable for sure. Like no guarantee they're not getting traded.
There's like 5 players like that in the league. Right?
Yeah, I give a little bit more than 5, but we don't have to debate that today. Yeah. But that's superstar to me. The John Morants and the Tyrese Maxeys and the Jalen Brunsons, I don't have a name for it off the top of my head. I don't think All-Star doesn't sound sufficient enough for me, so I would give it something different if it was me. I would have to think about it, but that's not really my point. My point is a tier below that. So players they're notable names. They deserved recognition, but they're not the best player on a team. If they are, it's really just circumstantial, a.k.a. Zach LaVine. It's really just coincidence. LaMelo Ball is transcending from that to the next step, I think. So tier 1, 2, and 3, I think for the most part of his career, he's been tier 3 for me.
He's tier 2.
And he's transcending to tier 2. Yeah, I think he's transitioning. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Transitioning to tier 2, I believe.
How many tiers do you have? Because for me, it's like LeBron, superstars, all-stars, stars, role players, bums.
Look, current version.
Like Tatum is in my bums.
The current version of LeBron, I would not put in a category by himself. So I'm considering.
Well, no, he's not alone up there. It's Jokic is with LeBron.
Yeah, I would say I can go to 5 or 6 tiers.
The category is just called LeBron.
Where would AD be in there?
LeBron. He's at the
LeBron
level to me.
Yeah,
so?
The current version of LeBron, yes. Prime LeBron, no.
What do you
Prime LeBron deserves his own category once you make it. But currently he's tier 1. I think Anthony Davis is tier 1. So tier 3 is essentially the tier that I'm kind of debating here. That's essentially what the debate was.
Like star, all-star?
That's how I visualize. Now, I don't know if my friend also looked at it that way as the stars that we're discussing here are tier 3 players. Now, I'll give you examples. This is where the debate really got lengthy, and we really started going back and forth about it. Draymond Green, is he a star player in this league? Or in his prime? That's really what we discussed. Right now, we understand he's not having the same years that he used to have, but in his prime, that 5 or 6 year period where he was, one of the pinnacle players in the league, technically speaking, would you have considered him a star, or do you think Draymond was a role player?
Do you guys think
I think he's an all-star. I think he's a step above a star for me back then.
So he would be a tier 2 player?
Well, for me, it's tier 3. For you, I think it's like somewhere between 2 and 3.
I think Draymond's tier 2. Like prime Draymond is tier 2. He was making his jump shots. He was one of the best defenders in the league. Arguably could win Defensive Player of the Year.
So he is a star.
He's a star. To me,
or was
prime,
potentially still is, but I guess
that's debatable. I don't think
it is debatable now. Yeah, it is debatable now.
But he was the best on-ball defender. He was guarding the best players. On top of that, he was also having a really good assist night. On top of that, being a good rebounder. So he had a lot of hats to wear. And I think when you're a star, you wear a lot of hats on the team. You do a lot for the team in different ways. Like whether it's controlling turnover, controlling tempo, being the assist leader, being the point leader. But when it comes to Draymond was their heart, and you can't measure that. That's not something you measure within like stats and stuff like that. So it's hard to like just because he was averaging 9, 6, and 5 doesn't mean that he wasn't also like you know what I'm saying. He wasn't getting steals. He wasn't getting blocks. He was just locking people down. So it's just it just all depends. It's how you view it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you're looking at the years that I was trying to debate with my friend was really I was giving him about let's see,
like 2014 to 2020.
I wouldn't even
what
go
the heck just happened?
2015 up.
So I was giving him about 2014, 2015, which was the first year they won a championship. I'd probably give him all the way down. He started digressing statistically in 2018, 2019. So I'll give him that 5-year span right there. When you look at that 5-year span right there, we're talking about a guy who
he wasn't even the best defender on his team the first year they won the championship. Like his growth happened that second year.
Wait, what? I don't think that
Andre Iguodala was their best.
Yeah,
defender.
I can agree with that.
He won
First
MVP.
year, 2015, yeah.
But I don't think Andre won it because he was the best defender. I think he won it because he was the defensive assignment on LeBron. But I don't think there was ever a time on that team where Draymond wasn't the best defender.
I'm sorry. If you're,
No, I think that first year they won a championship, Draymond was still making a name for himself as a top tier defender. That's when we started looking at him. Oh, damn, this kid plays a good ass defense.
Yeah, because we realized that year he was the best defender.
Yeah, but I think I do agree. Iguodala was the best defender on the team overall. And then the year after, boom,
the collapse
he takes over.
Because then everybody started to notice how important he was. When
he exactly.
There. So the collapse year when they lost the comeback from Cleveland, that's when we noticed. Oh damn, Draymond's actually really pivotal to this team, and he was the reason they won with KD being there too. He was a big reason why. People don't understand. He was their facilitator. Like he always has been.
Yeah, he never was not.
It's never been Steph.
Yeah, never. Steph's a good passer, but he's not a facilitator. I think those are two different things. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to sit here and say that Draymond Green is not a star in the league when during this time frame. We're talking about a 4-time All-Star, led the league in steals. He's a 4-time NBA champion, or at this point, not 4-time, but regardless, let's ignore that. 2-time All-NBA, which already by that holds a lot of weight. All-NBA is not a defensive award.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he's not averaging 15.
That means a lot. He's an 8-time All-Defensive player, then of course Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's actually crazy not to think Draymond is a star, and that's really why I brought it up because I think a lot of players get lost in translation because of the fact that they're not doing the entertaining stuff.
Exactly.
And people believe that if you're not this, unstoppable force, that you're not really a star or elite in this league. But you can be elite at other things. You know what I mean? Like Ben Wallace was an elite player. There's no debating that. Dennis Rodman was an elite player.
John Stockton.
John Stockton was an elite player. Yeah.
When we talk about that box of niche players, he's arguably a top 5 niche player. When it comes to championship teams and being a glue, he's arguably one of the best glue players.
Yeah, if we're looking at it that way, I'd sit here and debate.
Think he might be the best.
I'd sit here and debate. Draymond is the best. That niche player, kind of how you describe it. I would debate that.
When it comes to versatility, I think he's one of the best defensive players we've ever seen. I think when it comes to defending both the perimeter and the paint, he's in the top 10, I would say, all time.
And that matters. That matters a lot. And most people are not willing to accept it because of who Stephen Curry is, because of who Kevin Durant is, because of who Klay Thompson is. People aren't willing to accept it. But I would be willing to bet money that the Warriors don't win that many championships without Draymond. I don't even know if they win the first one without Draymond. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if they get to a point where Kevin Durant wants to go there without Draymond. You know what I mean? The team looks the way it looks because of Draymond, whether they want to admit it or not. Not just because of him. That's not what I'm saying. But
he's the glue.
It is a well-oiled machine that required Draymond's contribution, and people don't realize that. And that led to a lot of awards, and those awards make him a star. I think it's hard.
Arguably, people might not want to say it, but he's still talked about enough. I think he's still somewhat a star.
I do think so too, but I can understand that.
Anybody who can get on a podcast after they get their ass whooped off game is a star.
I could be a star.
No, this one's a lot harder though. My last example, and this is where I stopped because I know people are just not going to agree.
Yeah.
But nice pass.
Yeah, Austin Reeves has definitely become a lot better.
Yeah, call him John Stockton.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. We're watching the game still. But Rudy Gobert, is he a star in this league?
No.
Yes.
I agree. I do think so. He fits the Draymond.
You hate Rudy Gobert, though. You have bias here. Remove your bias. Wait.
Clip me up.
Remove your bias. Remove your bias for 1 second. Really think about Rudy Gobert. Is he talked about as much as Draymond?
I just feel like any player who can, like, in the playoffs, if they have to bench you because you're not matchup worthy or they can't find a way for you to fit in, you kind of, that star thing goes away. That glue thing goes away. I can't look at him like I look at Draymond.
There's been a few stars have been benched. Draymond's been benched before.
But we're not debating whether he's a better player than Draymond. We're just debating his overall.
I'm not saying he's a better player. I'm just saying he doesn't fit that caliber of. If we're talking about caliber of a star, I don't think. To me, I think just because this award's very iffy award, but just because you average a lot of blocks and play good defense, and then when the playoffs,
good defense is underselling it.
But
Come on,
let's put it into
give me a little bit more here.
Guard Jokic.
But let's put it into context though. We're looking at a 3-time All-Star. He's looking at a rebounding champion, a block champion. We're looking at a 4-time All-NBA center. And a 7-time All-Defense.
Who just got traded for 4 first-round picks. There's a reason he got traded for that many.
The difference for me is that, and I hate to say this, these championships, when I look at that, the overall hardware, what shows me your greatness, what shows me your worth, and when you're a glue guy, when you're a guy that we need, like you're that guy to put me in, I look at you as like, okay, what do you
where did that come from? When do we say Gobert is that guy? We're just saying, is he a star in the league or not?
I don't think he's a star. I think a star can help you win. I don't think Rudy helps you.
He has helped every
Joel
team
Embiid
win.
has never won a championship, and would you consider him a star?
Yeah, but that's different.
But why though?
Different. Joel Embiid's totally different from Rudy Gobert.
But he has the accolades where I would consider him a star.
You put Joel Embiid on that Minnesota team, that's an instant championship team. You put Rudy Gobert on that Philly team, that is not a championship.
I think they go just as far as second round.
I agree. I think so.
Really?
Yes.
You got
I think the issue isn't Joel Embiid
I don't know about second round. I was thinking about Minnesota. That's what I was thinking.
Minnesota might be a Western
I still don't think that
Conference
I don't think they win with Embiid either.
No, I agree.
I don't
think they win with Embiid either. I don't think that's the.
They do a lot better than.
But I'm using what you said
Joel
though.
doesn't have to be benched
because you're talking that Rudy Gobert is not there because of championships. There's so many other stars that don't have championships that have less accolades than him.
I mean,
Jimmy Butler's a star?
I think
Jimmy Butler's.
You're succumbing to the same thing we're talking about because what he does doesn't look entertaining, or because he's not doing the way that we like it. We don't consider him as good as all these other players who are contributing the same to their team.
I just don't even think he's like in his position. He's even a top 5 player. Like even if Draymond's
we just said Zach
LaVine
is. Zach LaVine's not a top.
There's
5
never
player.
been a time where Draymond Green was a top 5 power forward.
You're tripping. Yeah,
When?
I think that's an argument.
When?
That year they won with KD, I think he played a great year. That year that they won with just Steph in them,
I think there's a year or two where you can debate it. I don't know exactly which year,
but I think there's times where you could debate that Gobert
was.
But
there was times where Gobert was a top 5 center for sure, without a shadow of a doubt.
I don't ever think there was a time. I think he was a top 5 defender. Like
there definitely was. When the guards started taking over, there were very little good centers in the NBA. Very little.
The best
Jokic
center for a little while
were pretty much it.
He wasn't.
AD was not a center. When the
4.
guards were starting to take over, AD was still playing the 4.
The best center at the time was Hassan Whiteside. Right? I think
Jokic was still balling.
No, there was a
Jokic
time,
only comes out in 2018 as who he is now.
No, Jokic and Embiid were still top 5 centers during this time period that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
At the very least, but there was times where Gobert was a top 5 center. Not to say because he's that talented, but because that's just the framework of the league.
When I look at a star, I'm not saying that I don't see a weakness. Every player has a weakness. It's just their weakness is not glared or over amplified to the point now where I can't play you. And I think playoff makes stars. Can we agree on that? Playoff makes superstars. I think, that's where I look at it with him. And if I can't bring you off, if you're a mixed match problem and now I can't even have you on the court because you're a liability and you're winning Defensive Player of the Year every year, it's just weird to me. That was weird to me. I think we all could agree it's weird to see a defensive player be a defensive liability.
It's matchups. If you're playing a team that's primarily going to be jump shooting, like the Warriors, for example, where they played them twice,
don't get me
like
wrong.
he's not going to play. It doesn't make sense to have a center when you have to constantly switch on the perimeter. I'm not saying he's a good versatile defender, but he is arguably the best defensive center that we've seen the last couple of years.
Austin's having a great game right now. He is balling.
Yeah,
I see in Austin Reeves now. By the way, Nas.
Man, I've been trying to tell you. But yeah, I dropped my phone. I needed it. But
I don't know. I don't know if he's a star.
No,
I do think he's NBA All-Star. I'll give you that.
Wait, what?
I don't know if he's a star.
So wait,
Wait, what?
I don't know if he's a star.
But I genuinely believe, and I encourage you to really dig deep and really think to yourself: is this a biased opinion or is this a real general basketball opinion? Because I really do believe people's opinion on Gobert is biased.
That do what he do, maybe not to his level, but do what he do.
So you just said it. You see what I mean?
You
see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Just think about it from an open-minded perspective. You're trying to convince yourself, but you just said it. Players that can do what he does, but not at his level. You just said it. You know what I mean?
He's not a superstar. He's not the GOAT.
We're not saying he's a
star.
franchise player, but he is a star in this league.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, is he like really like?
He's the second best player on the Timberwolves, without a doubt.
I could get Jared Allen, and that.
Oh, well, I
Jared
wouldn't say that.
I would say so.
Julius Randle's playing pretty damn good this year.
I can go get a lot of players.
Jared Allen's not better than him.
But we're not talking about those caliber
Jared
players.
Allen's right there in that realm.
But we're not talking about those caliber players. We're talking about players. We're just simply acknowledging the fact that you have accomplished what needs to be accomplished to be a star in this league, to be a recognizable name. You have got the accolades. You have got the success. You have led your team to success. He has been a big reason teams are good. The Jazz would not be that good without him. The Wolves would not be this good without him. He plays a role in making teams this good. Do they have to do adjustments because of liabilities? That's fine. That happens. But D'Angelo Russell was a star in this league once upon a time, and you have to adjust to take him out of the game.
He absolutely was.
He was an all-star. He was the best player on the Brooklyn Nets.
If you're an all-star, you're automatically a star.
And you've reached the point where you have to be taken out of the game because you can't play defense. Klay Thompson was a star. Klay Thompson was a star in this league and got benched. Got benched last season because he was not producing. So, yes, players can become liabilities. Players can be a problem occasionally or maybe repeatedly. That's fine. But what you bring to the table still needs to be acknowledged. That's my only point. We're not saying that Rudy Gobert is a top 5 center or that he should be playing over this guy or that I would rather have this guy or that guy. It's just a matter of, has Rudy Gobert done enough to recognize himself as a star? He has. I really do believe he has. If we're going to give it to other guys, like if we're going to sit here and say Zach LaVine is a star, we cannot say Rudy Gobert is not. Zach LaVine's done shit in his life. He's been here just taking shots for no reason.
I don't think Zach LaVine.
Jimmy Butler's never.
Tyler mentioned it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's never won anything. He doesn't really have any accolades. He's a star.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler's different. I think than JaVale McGee. I think they bring different.
JaVale McGee.
My bad.
Oh,
That's how I view him.
Okay, how about this?
Not JaVale McGee. What's his name? Jimmy Butler's different from he's bringing a whole different arsenal, bro. Like I just think he fits what the Minnesota is right now. So obviously they're going to use what he's good at to the extent of making him a star.
I mean, he fit what Utah was doing too. So everything he's been on, he's fit what they needed to do.
You plug and play him, they're the number one defense, or they're up there. Okay, I have a question. Someone who's constantly injured all the time.
I'll take Rudy Gobert on the Lakers right now. No questions asked.
Every single team that needs a center would take him.
No questions asked.
You move Anthony Davis to the 4, he would
AD in the
cook.
4 and put Gobert at the 5. No questions asked.
He doesn't have to guard centers
and then
anymore.
Benching him in the fourth quarter, almost said fifth quarter. In the fourth quarter would mean nothing now because AD is just going to play the 5.
So what about this? Because your idea of star is a little different than mine.
$1 million you're using just like you're spending.
I do believe he's getting paid a little bit more than I would like for him to, but he has earned it.
I don't think it's a lot more though.
The league pays you off of what you've accomplished, and he has the resume. You cannot nothing. Yep.
All right. But wait, I have a question because your idea of star is different than ours. Someone who's always injured, Zion, is he a star?
No.
All right.
Oh man.
All right. Well, at this point, I think we can move on to the next.
Let's talk about it though. Zion has been injured a ton. I think that Zion still could be up there for a star.
Yeah, of course.
Even this year,
of course, Zion is a star.
Even this year, Zion is dealing with injuries again. He's constantly dealing with injuries, and I think he's eligible. What do you guys think about his injuries this year, though?
Boy, big. I don't even know what was his injury this year. What happened?
Hamstring, and I'm pretty sure it's the same hamstring.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have much to say about Zion's injuries. Like at this point, like what are we really? Are we surprised? Like,
I'm mainly bringing this up because
star, though?
our co-star put him at the top 4 power forwards. So
no, I think from a talent perspective, when I did mine, I think I put him at 5 if I'm not mistaken. But when I do mine type of rankings and stuff, I'm just looking at players. If they were healthy, like they could have a healthy year, they could not. Like if you would have hit me with a ranking for Anthony Davis last year, maybe I would have ranked him low because he's injury prone. But next thing you know, he played 75 games. You know what I mean? So like, I'm expecting them to play games. That's why I'm ranking them high, and I'm going to give Pluto the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's why he also ranked them high. But what are we surprised about? Like, this is just who Zion is. You know what I mean?
I expected more this season. Like, he gave me a picture of him being skinny. I know that's kind of funny to say, but
yeah,
doesn't he do that every year though?
He's like Ben Simmons shooting compilations.
He looked in shape though. He looked good. Like,
listen, as I recently learned, Photoshop is one hell of a thing, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a hell of a drug too.
We actually have a Facetune filter on right now. I don't have a beard.
God damn.
But what do the Pelicans do at this point now?
I don't think you can do nothing. But go ahead.
You can't blow it up because there's too much money involved, and you can't. I mean, you can blow it up, but it's just that franchise itself is not gonna do good under a rebuild. I don't think that franchise can stay in New Orleans under a rebuild. They already always try to get that franchise out of New Orleans every year, so I don't think they can afford to rebuild. So they're just gonna be what they always been, a mid-level team who can make the playoff and get bounced the first round.
Mediocre, filled with injuries.
Yeah, that's the Pelicans. They've always that's been their identity since that guy who's on the ground was on their team.
Since Chris Paul, bro.
I think the Pelicans are the worst good team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Out of all the teams we can decipher as good teams right now, I think the Pelicans are the worst out of all of them. They're just an ugly built together team. They don't fit. They do not fit. There is no combination of players on that team that fits. And even DeJounte Murray, who I am very high on, has proven to have turned into a bit of a chucker lately and a bit of a scoring guard.
He has always been a chucker. I promise you, on the Spurs, he was always a chucker.
Well, I guess I didn't know that. But my point is he's developed a lot of a scoring aspect to his game. And I think if he's going to play, he got injured. And I think if he's going to play that way, he just doesn't fit anybody on his team. Like CJ just doesn't. There's no combination of players that fit well together on this team.
You have 3 chuckers. So. You have Ingram, you have CJ McCollum, and you have Murray.
Name me something that they complement each other with right now.
Herb Jones is it. It's literally just Herb Jones complements everyone.
I'm saying the best players on the team, like the CJ,
they
Murray,
don't.
Zion, and Ingram.
It's the Trey Murphy and the Herbert Jones that kind of like can bring them together. But at the same time, it's just I don't like you said, Nas. I don't see a combination that gives me a playoff win. Like they remind me of that Trailblazers team, which is funny enough with CJ McCollum and Dame, where they're good, but I don't think they're going that past the second round.
That was another thing that didn't complement each other because Dame is not a great passer, and neither of them are good defenders
at all. And they were getting cooked in the playoffs like every year. Hibachi cooked like all the time.
Yeah, I don't like that team at all. I hate the name. I mentioned that before. I think the name is ugly. I think the team is very poorly constructed. I think that is very bad GM work. I think on paper it seemed appealing at first, like most things do, because of the combination of great players. But the more you see them play basketball, it's like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what is your goal? Who are you feeding? How are you getting them open? How are you creating opportunities for everybody else? Like, it's just a matter of like, if you can touch the ball, try to do something with it because you might not see it again. That's really what the thought process is.
And I think the issue, like you said, starts with the name. There was a poll that came up with different team names. Swamp Dragons was number 1 voted.
That would have been worse.
And Pelicans, Louisiana, known for the swamp. New
Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah. I got mixed up for a second. My bad. They're known for their swamps. Maybe it's time to change the name.
To Swamp Dragons?
Yes.
Oh, God. Dragons is cool. New Orleans Dragons?
No. We're not removing the swamp.
But nobody calls the Trailblazers Trailblazers. They're the Blazers now.
Yeah, but that one I agree with. Blazers just sounds better.
What about the Knickerbockers?
I like that too. I think the only reason I think that we don't say is because it could sound like something else, and you want to be cautious.
I'm aware.
The Miami
Heat could sound like something else. You know who said something that could sound like something else?
Go ahead.
What's her name? Michelle Beadle. Y'all saw?
I missed this one.
On the Lou Williams?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, she took an L.
I'm not going to say it out loud. What I'm going to do in this exact moment, I'm
say it.
going to put it up on the screen so for you guys to see. So you guys will get a chance to decide.
Can you give it
for
to me? Because I
yourselves.
haven't seen this.
No.
Michael Porter Jr. recently said, I don't like this, that if the Nuggets don't win this,
That was a good one.
don't try to get me on that, they might have to break up the team. Lou, are you buying that this is the last dance for the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Nuggets.
I'm buying it. Beta, you're going to be in trouble today.
That's not fair. It's not even a thing. It's not even a word.
Sounded like it.
You would love that.
Because I haven't seen this.
No, I'll send it to you after.
She's a white woman.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Word and she's a white woman. Yeah,
That's terrible.
essentially.
I was going to make a joke saying I do it all the time, but I'm not because I don't.
my hardest. I tried my hardest to watch it over and over again to try to understand if there's a different word that she could have said accidentally, and I can't figure it out, man.
So
I'm a big benefit of the doubt type of guy though. Like I don't know what to say in her defense, but like, you know, I don't think she meant to say that. You know what I mean?
Just why did she
there
say
was
it?
another person. If you guys look it up, he was actually saying the Knicks, and he ended up saying the N word too. He was another journalist. This happened a long time ago. I'll look up the video and show you guys later. But I've seen it happen. The Knicks have gotten people before. The Knicks have gotten people to say the N word. So I can see it. I can see it. If you think about it, say it real fast.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's never in my life been a time where I mixed the two up. I think that has to somewhat be in your vocabulary to mix the two up. I really do think so.
I try to give her the benefit of the doubt as best as I possibly can, but I mean, you are right. John Jones and Milchick are fighting?
Yeah. John Jones come back.
I could have.
Took a year off.
I thought they didn't. I'm sorry, my bad. I saw a commercial. John Jones is my favorite UFC fighter. I could have sworn that fight was canceled or something.
Bro's glazing.
But my bad. Yeah, I think it's wild. You know, we put it up on the screen for y'all, so y'all can make your own judgments. And you know, it's unfortunate. I really hope it doesn't turn bad for her because I don't know anything about her. I've never really known. I don't watch that show. Whatever channel they're on, or is that like a podcast or like a network?
ESPN favorite. She's an ESPN favorite. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
she's had
nothing
a couple
about her.
shows. She had a show with Marcus Wiley. She's been. She was doing the morning Sports Center show, but then ended up giving that to what's his name, the guy who Mike Green. She's an ESPN favorite. She just doesn't fit a lot of the times. So they're always consistently rotating her in different shows.
They got some better people on there now anyway. They got Chine, Ogumike, the NECA's sister. They got a couple WNBA people. Shout out.
They had to do that. They should have had women talk about basketball a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about her, so but I hope it works out for her. You know, I hope nothing happens. I agree with Tyler. It must be in her vocabulary.
Yeah,
somehow.
bro. Like, you've known me for how long? How many times have we talked about the Knicks?
Yeah.
When have I ever?
Yeah,
when have I ever slipped?
It was the Nuggets. It was the Nuggets.
Even worse. Bro.
Yeah.
That's even
It was
worse.
the Nuggets. You can understand the correlation now. Right?
Yeah. she did a couple word scrabbles, a couple letters in there.
She may be dyslexic. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Oh God, I'm so sorry, you two. But yeah,
we're not sorry, Michelle.
Moving on though, random topic that I actually had curiosity about and wanted to get you guys' opinion. I'm sure you guys were curious on what I meant about Melo's
curious.
prophecy. I'm not prophecy.
Prophecy.
What did I write? Legacy, right? Yeah, legacy. Melo's legacy phasing out. So it's an interesting conversation to have if you think about it. So, like, let's talk about Melo on the Nuggets, right? Before Jokic, you could argue Melo was the best Nugget in history, right?
Yeah, I would say
Right.
he's definitely up there. Dennis Johnson.
Now his number 15 is going to be retired by Jokic, not him. Right? Which means they're either going to have to ask the NBA to, you know, fix the rules up a little bit to allow the same number to be retired twice, or just not retire his number at all. Which is crazy because again, he was the previously all-time great in Nugget history, right? That's one thing. Now we look at the Knicks. He was also the arguably, if not first, second best Knick of all time, maybe third, depending on your preference. Right?
I'd say third or fourth.
Right. So he was a top 5 Knick of all time, right? Now we got Jalen Brunson with the very good potential to surpass him, right? People are really in love with Jalen Brunson in New York to a point where I do feel like they hold him to a higher standard than Melo. or they could within the next year or two.
I do.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So that's another legacy that's could potentially start phasing out a little bit. Now the last one here is, which is the crazy part, his name.
I was about to say that.
We know him as Melo. He's the only Melo in NBA history. Now LaMelo Ball has taken over that nickname. So like, do you think it is actually humanly possible for these things to cause us to lose, like,
it always happens
who Melo is in the history of the NBA?
Yeah,
do you think we will lose interest in Melo because of all these things that are happening?
I don't think so because he's top 10 in scoring. And I think that's what'll keep him there always.
But do you think
until he's away from that?
That's exactly what I was going to say. So,
once he's out of there, yeah.
So once he gets taken out of top 10 scoring, you believe that Melo might actually phase out to the point where he'll become like a... What's a good example of somebody who phased out?
Bro, I think John Stockton right now is phasing out, and he has more accolades than Melo. I think Melo will absolutely phase out.
I think John Stockton just wasn't, sexy. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't media friendly.
What's sexy to you in the NBA? One second. What is sexy to you in the NBA?
Like the superstars. Like, we just talked about stars.
LeBron James? Is it the shoulders?
You know exactly what I mean.
No, I don't. Break it down to me. Is it Jason Tatum?
I just hit 2 back-to-back 3-pointers.
It's Jason Tatum, right? The fade.
Listen, you know exactly what I mean.
Go ahead.
We're running out of time. The studio's about to close on us, man. But
what was I gonna say? Oh, well, I mean, his game phased out. Like, his game phased out.
That's another thing. How he finished his career is also another factor.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't win any championships. Not even, like, one of those, like, let's get, like,
he was never close.
Championships. You know what they give, like, those old players like Juwan Howard, those, like, James Jones.
Bro, they tried, but the Lakers are terrorists, and they brought in Russell Westbrook.
But, like, my thing is his literal game style was phased out. Like, there is no player who's going to play like Melo and be efficient enough to be like him. His name is being phased out. His numbers aren't being respected. I mean, at that point, I would be pissed if I was Melo, but he'll be relevant only because of the fact that his podcast does so well. We got to keep that in mind.
Does it?
Yeah, he does.
I've never watched it once in my life.
The guy he does it with is pretty annoing.
That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's hard to watch it because his laugh. He's like, exactly. But Melo's dope. Melo's a cool individual, and there's something about like scores that make him like very like, kind of like what's the word? It has an ambiance of like, I wonder why he was such a good scorer. Like who he like Kobe had that too. Like scorers when they retire, like really good scorers, they have some type of ambiance about them where a lot of people just respect them. So it just depends. It depends how people want to remember him.
Better people than Melo have phased out. That's just the truth of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Who talks about Clyde Drexler anymore? Who talks about George Gervin? They're gone. They're at different time.
Yeah, true.
Your legacy happens by winning a championship and awards, and he unfortunately has
championships.
I think all he needs one because I don't think Dirk will ever be forgotten.
Yeah, but Dirk has also got like a signature move that everybody knows.
Of course.
I think Melo's jab step is pretty signature.
Literally, people practice jab steps because of Melo.
I think Melo's jab step is something that they consider
there's like
thing.
memes of it in like.
I'm not gonna lie, my whole game changed when I learned how to use a jab step. So I'm not gonna.
You even changed your game.
Yeah, I changed my game when I learned how to use a jab step to create space.
It's the Melo.
Yeah, literally. I'm not.
I think the triple threat is that popular as it is because of Melo specifically. Because most people don't use a triple threat as it's meant to; they use it to jab step.
That's crazy.
It's the truth.
That's crazy. I never thought of it that way. That is actually pretty crazy. Just jab step and pump fake.
That's it.
Coach, I used my triple threat.
You just jab step 20 times.
I think arguably Melo has like right next to LeBron one of the best first steps ever in the NBA. Next to Derrick Rose and LeBron. And he's not like fast.
I don't even think LeBron has the best.
Nah, LeBron definitely has the best first step in the NBA.
Better than Derrick Rose?
I think so.
Better than Westbrook?
Does Melo really have a great first step?
He's a great first
I think he's like he gets people off their feet.
It's that second step that they catch back up on him.
But then the first one wasn't enough.
That second step is like, okay.
Well, I mean, I guess we're not here to debate that. But
No.
I don't know if I completely agree. But either way, I guess that's enough for NBA talk, man. Let's give some love to our favorite league in the area, man. GM5. As always, every single episode, man. Shout out to GM5 for having us out there.
Shout out to GM5.
Shout out to GM5, man.
Shout out to GM5.
Shout
for having us out there. I think we just finished week 9, and a lot was happening. So let me pull up some of the stuff going on in the GM5 world. But Orlando was not there with us. So, Tyler, what was your favorite moments?
Probably when we called exactly what was going to happen in that game against Game Time Elite, and then it happened. When we said do everything possible to stop AJ from getting the ball. Also, shout out AJ. He came on the show.
Facts.
Yeah, shout out AJ.
How was the players meeting?
It was great.
Way more fun than I ever could have imagined.
Some of them can definitely stand to talk a little louder, but other than that, they haven't done this before, so I can't hate on it. But it was great for sure. I loved having the players.
Dom disappeared on us. He would not come over to us, so we had to get Tommy. And Tommy was great. Tommy was fun. 2-time 3-point shooter champion. Shout out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, actually.
What was your favorite?
My favorite moment, good question. I'd say my favorite moment was watching City Ballers collapse yet again.
You must call every weekend, man.
Oh my god!
But it's unfortunate, man. City Ballers should definitely be better, but no. Watching that was just a joke. My favorite moment is technically what I said is half true, but my favorite moment was just watching the Enforcers win another game. Battle it out. I apologize. Had a seizure there for a moment. Fight it through and really come down to the wire and pull that win. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what's crazy about the Enforcers, they don't have anybody that you're going to be like, oh, I can't wait for them to watch.
Right.
But as a unit, they're like fun to watch. Like the coaching, everything.
Yeah, they're exciting, man.
Yeah.
They play with a lot of energy.
We're gonna talk about them soon too.
Yeah. So
wait,
week 9.
Can I go back and change my answer real quick? I'm sorry. My favorite moment was actually listening to Dom say that whenever Shane gives you that look, just cut, and then we see Shane do that same exact thing.
Right? No, that was crazy, man. I hope I can. If I can find the clip, if not, I'm not gonna do it because I'm lazy. But if I can find the clip, I'll pull it up, man. But Dom literally, or no, Tommy mentioned how they played Game Time plays great basketball. They literally Shane just gives you a look, and you just have to cut, and you're gonna be open. And literally, Tyler saw one play where he saw it happen, but I saw one play that was right in front of our face. I stopped talking because I was mesmerized by the fact that what the hell is Shane looking at Dom so hard for? And then I see Dom kind of creep up and then boom, do a backdoor. Ended up in a turnover because, the defender got the hand in the way. But it was exactly what Tommy had just described, how just get a look and cut and you're going to be wide open. And he was open. It was just the pass.
Shout out to Tommy.
The pass just didn't go through. But a little bit of a week 9 recap for GM5. We had the Park Legends put together a second win in a row. They were able to beat Ojan Roofing. Did you hear how they won that game?
No.
They took Ojan was up by 1. They took a shot for no reason. They could have just held the ball and won it at the free throw line. They took a shot too early and they missed it.
Man.
And the Park Legends got the rebound, went on the fast break, scored the 2 and won. Because they took a shot when they were up by 1 with the clock winding down.
That's why they don't have their leader.
I could have some of that story mixed up a little bit, but that's just what was described to me. So if you're watching this and the story is incorrect, feel free to correct us in the comment section. I'm more than happy to admit I was wrong. But knowing OJR, I fully believe it. Team Swift.
Seen it all.
Team Swift beat Count Up. Count Up was undermanned again, which is unfortunate for them. They're a very good team. They play good defense, but they just can't get everybody to show up at the same time. And it's difficult to put together wins like that.
They fought hard in that game, too, though. I don't know what the ending score was, but we saw the end of it.
Yeah, well, Team Swift won by 10. But either way, it was a low-scoring game, as most count-up games are, so their defense was still existent. But Team Swift's defense was much better. City Ballers, as we mentioned, just lost and collapsed to the Enforcers. It wasn't much of a collapse. It was a close game throughout. They just couldn't close it out. They did manage to get a lead late in the fourth quarter. I do remember that. But, of course, they blew it.
Enforcers enforced the win. We have to mention that.
Exactly. Yeah, Enforcers enforced the win. So shout out to Vic and shout out to Rui Hachimura for just dunking on the Grizzlies. But shout out to the Enforcers, man. They're doing a great job. I think there's 6 wins in a row right now.
7 now, I'm pretty sure.
Possibly.
You might be right, yeah.
And then, 6 because they have 7 wins right now.
Yeah.
And then Worldwide was able to put together the first win against Game Time, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Williams is having an MVP caliber season, and that's actually going to bring us to our player rankings. You want to bring up our player rankings now?
Going to the team or player first?
Well, since we're talking about AJ, let's talk about how AJ has pushed up. Let's see if I got my player rankings right here. Or did I save it?
Right?
Yeah, because we did it together.
Yeah. GM5 top 10, I think.
This is the consensus
So,
GM5 top 10.
We had a whole hour meeting for this, guys.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we sat down for about
An hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, we sat down for about an hour and 30 minutes to talk about GM5's top 10 players. We came to a consensus. This is not just one of our opinions. This is a vote. So if you guys have any problems with it, man, I'm sorry, but we got outvoted. You weren't in our top 10. So the Hoop Talk, the Hoop Talk GM5 top 10 list is as follows. Starting from 10 going up, we got Terrell Christian from Game Time. We have Nick Wallery at number 9 from Park Legends. We have Luke Doyle from OTB at number 8. Rod Lawrence from OTB at number 7. Sean Sukup, another member of Game Time, once again making the list at number 6. Dom Williams, a.k.a. Mustache Dom from the Enforcers, is at number 5 for us.
Which is crazy.
Aaron Fair, or Farrington, I still have no clue, but it's one of the two. Aaron Farrington is at number 4, which is now the third Game Time player to make the list. Romello Bates is at number 3, being the third OTB player to make the list. He got his number 2 spot taken away by AJ Williams, ladies and gentlemen, who we were just talking about. And last but not least, of course, the leading favorite for MVP, unless AJ has something to say about it, Dom Douglas is at number 1, the 4th player from Game Time to make our list. If you agree, hit us up in the comment section. If you disagree, hit us up in the comment section.
It's looking like AJ has something to say about it, though, especially from last game. AJ, the game winner, before we even talk about that, I don't think I saw AJ missing. AJ attacked the rim like it was nothing. He was passing up shots to his team to get them in, but, like, bro, on both sides of the ball, AJ is going to be up there. If he's not MVP, he's absolutely Defensive Player of the Year front runner, too, I would say, without a doubt.
AJ. He's having one hell of a season.
He's also a very friendly person. Shout out for joining the show.
Yeah,
thank you.
He's my vote for favorite guest that week for sure. That was fun. And then I guess we'll do our power rankings as well.
Do you want to say anything?
No, I was just
my bad. My bad.
AJ's just been consistent these last 2 weeks, and it's not just been consistent like, oh, he's doing this every time he's dropping big ass numbers.
Yeah, like 30 and 15.
Like he's 6'10", he's only like 6'4", 6'5". Like he's not even the tallest person on the court all the time. So it's impressive.
Yeah,
it is. But then we have our GM5 power rankings, ladies and gentlemen. This was also part of the hour and 30 minutes that we spent. So here we are with our GM5 power rankings after week 9. We're only ranking 9 teams because it has been officially announced that UGK will not be returning. So our GM5 power rankings as of week 9 is as follows, starting with number 9. Ojon Roofing, the number 9 spot. Count Up is taking up the number 8. City Ballers is at number 7. We believe that City Ballers' games quality has been better than Count Up, despite their 7-game losing streak. We decided that we believe City Ballers has put together better games.
It's close enough to win some of the games.
A lot of bags.
Yeah. Park Legends is at number 6. Team Swift has jumped all the way to number 5. They were very low on our power rankings in the past. On the bench has dropped all the way to number 4 because we believe that Worldwide has put together a better season so far. They have shown a little bit better games out there. Beating Game Time was a big part of it. So we have Worldwide at number 3 because of that big win against Game Time. The Enforcers, ladies and gentlemen, are our number 2 spot. Yes, you heard it here first. The Enforcers are number 2, 7-game win streak. There's no denying it. Doesn't matter what you think. A win is a win. Doesn't matter how you see it, how you perceive it. You know, talk all the shit you want. The Enforcers on a 7-game win streak. You're lucky we didn't put them at number 1.
Because arguably, like, a 7-game win streak is kind of ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, like,
considering y'all only play, 12 games? You know,
and they only got 1 bye out of all this.
Exactly.
That's it.
So, shout out to the Enforcers once again, man. Shout out Vic, Mustache Dom, Ant Rice. Shout out all of them, man. ESPN, Jalen Merritt. Yeah. Yes, sir. And, of course, that leaves Game Time at number 1. You know, they did suffer their first loss, but Without Sean Suka, without Aaron Fair, still being able to compete with a very good worldwide team and going down to the wire, only a 2-point loss. That does say a lot. Overall, season-wise, overall performance, Game Time's just been the most dominant team in the league, even with that loss.
Yeah, they only lost by 1.
2.
2? Oh, yeah, it was tied. You're right. But, I mean, they lost by 2, missing 2 of their stars, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, that team's it's not even the same game, I think, with Sean there.
Two top 10 players.
Yeah.
By our standards.
I want to see how AJ can continue the dominance, because I do think that Worldwide has a chance of shaking some things up. And in a playoff matchup, whenever that starts, things could be different.
Yeah, 35 points against Game Time, so that was outrageous, man. So, as always, shout out to GM5. Thank you for having us out there, man. We really do appreciate it. We'll be there for Game 1 this week, OTB versus Worldwide. That's going to be an exciting game.
I tried to go just to go, and then I told these guys how big that game is, and now I'm working.
Yeah, because, Nas has prior commitments he has to take care of, so can't watch any other game.
Yeah, man, shout out to the Royals, man. They're a great paying customer, so, we got to go out there. We got to go out there and support their
Actually,
grind.
shout out for them, though. Like, no joke.
But last but
back to
not
the
least,
FBA.
we'll cap it off with some FBA talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned it before. I believe this season, or maybe at the end of last season, I don't remember now.
Both.
Maybe both, who knows. But the FBA, as mentioned, is hosting their first ever All-Star event. And this will now be done annually, of course. And you're going to hear it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The FBA has actually decided to do their All-Star Game draft, live on Hoop Talk the podcast. So next week, we're going to have Mark King and Brandon Parham from the Winter Park Storm and the Florida Flight. They're going to be the head coaches for the All-Star Game. They're going to be drafting their teams, and they're going to be drafting it here live with us. Not here. We're actually going back to Studio D3 in Orlando. But they're going to be drafting live. They're going to be answering some questions. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. If y'all got any questions for them, put them in the comment section for us. We'll make sure they get them. So that way they can interact with y'all, let you know what you think, man. But we're going to have a hella questions for them. We're going to have hella things to talk about. And we're going to see. I'm really curious to see who's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. I'll tell you who I'd pick number 1, but
Go ahead.
Roberto Suarez, of course. The reigning FBA MVP, ladies and gentlemen.
Reigning FBA MVP,
Yes,
Roberto Suarez.
But
Roberto Suarez is a mouthful.
I wanted to bring up, or I wanted to at least show who are the participants for the other events at the All-Star weekend. It's going to be a dunk contest and a 3-point shootout. So I figured we give a little bit of shout out to all the players participating. We're going to have Christian Sari and Nicholas McCallie from the Volusia County Serpents. We're going to have Dominic Douglas and Dante Hartnett Jr. from the Winter Park Storm. We're going to have Simeon Howard and Kyle Clark from the Claremont Crocs. And last but not least, we're going to have Tyler Rodriguez and Ronald Burr from the Florida Flight, representing their teams at the first ever Ultimate Shootout. That's what we're going to call it, the FBA's Ultimate Shootout. And then we have the dunk contests. We're going to have 4 players. We're going to have Grant Gullett from the Florida Flight representing. We're going to have Antonio Jackson from the Volusia County Serpents representing.
Oh, yeah.
Enrique Bush Jr. from the Claremont Crocs. And Aaron Farrington from the Winter Park Storm. That's going to be our 4 participants for the dunk contest this year.
It's going to be dope.
So it's going to be, it's going to be dope for sure.
Is anybody going to use you as a prop?
I hope not. I really hope not.
You're not going to let someone dunk over you?
I am not.
I'm down to throw some alleys.
I've been dunked on enough. I've had enough of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've seen him play basketball.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up our podcast with our own personal vote. Ladies and gentlemen, the voting for the All-Star starters ends this Friday. This episode is going to come out on Thursday, so you're going to have about 24 hours to put in your votes. We're actually going to put in a vote as a group, and believe it or not, you can vote as many times as you can. So on my way home, I'm going to submit that vote as many times as I possibly can before I get home. I got about a 15-minute drive, so I'm about to put that vote in about 100 times, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, I'm going to do it at the red lights. I'm going to do it at the red lights.
Let's make this a little game.
What?
No FBA players. No Serpents players.
No, what? No.
You scared?
What kind of game is that? We're voting for All-Stars. Why would we eliminate players from the equation?
I think that's a conflict of interest.
No, I'm not. You don't gotta believe what I tell you. All right, this is the list. We can all see it on the TV down here on the screen. These are all the players that are going to be selected, or that are options to be selected for All-Star starters. We get to pick 2 backcourt players and 2 front court players. Amongst our backcourt players are Roberto Suarez, Dom Douglas, James Lindsey Jr., Kenny Long, Aaron Farrington, and Bo Paul. And then our front court players are going to be Grant Gullett, Enrique Bush Jr., Tyler Rodriguez, Kevin Rulock, Jermaine Johnson, Clarence Tillman, and Rick Bellevue.
Can we agree Dom goes in the backcourt?
Yeah,
I 100% say Dom as one choice.
Now, can we also agree the chef goes in the backcourt?
I'll take Berto.
I'm just trying to upset him.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take Berto.
Yeah, I would also pick Berto.
Okay, we're
I
going.
was going to try to upset you though.
All right, we're going. Okay, listen, I was ready to put the fight there.
Why not Berto?
All right, so you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Who Taught the Podcast is going to be submitting our vote for backcourt All-Star starters. It is going to be Roberto Suarez and Dom Douglas, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, there's going to be 4 winners because both teams need to pick 2 backcourt players. But each voter only gets to pick 2 backcourt players to kind of branch out the voting as much as possible. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to show y'all real quick. We have 749 votes so far.
How many are you?
Not that many. Not that many at all. I do have a lot, but not like a bunch. Yeah.
What's a lot? Is it over 20?
I don't think I reached 20. I don't think so.
Okay,
I think I got too lazy to get to 20.
I would check your search history, but I'm worried about what we would find.
Oh, God. All right. Now we got our front court players. We get to select 3 front court players to submit as our choice. I want to say Grant Gullett should be a choice for sure. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with him.
I'm not as familiar, but I was going to say Enrique. Would you agree?
Enrique would be my next choice as well.
I'm not familiar. So
I'm going to trust you with Grant Gullett, though, because I have heard about him. You've spoken about him, obviously.
Yeah, Grant Gullett is arguably the best player in the FBA.
Yeah, I would not be opposed to that. I haven't seen as many FBA games as I probably should have. I do know a lot of the names on here, and I've seen a lot of them, but...
So we're going to go with Grant Gullett and Enrique.
for sure.
If I'm giving a suggestion, I would say
Tyler?
Rick or Jermaine.
Jermaine's not a center. Jermaine's your big man, right?
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson is our center for the Volusia County Serpents. Yeah.
I'm
Rick
torn
Bellevue is our
between-
backup center for the
Are they
Volusia County
honorable
Center.
mentions or?
No, they're on there.
No, they're on there.
No, I'm saying for us to vote. Can we only pick 2 right now?
No, I picked 3.
Oh yeah, I'll throw Jermaine in.
I'm thinking of either Tyler or Jermaine.
I'll go Jermaine.
Tyler is a good choice. It's difficult. So like if you're just going through who's the best player, I would probably say Tyler.
For my actual one, I did Enrique, Tyler, and Jermaine.
Yeah, for my actual one, I did Grant, Enrique, and Rick. And then I also did a Serpents one. You know what I mean? I got to get all the votes in there.
Yes.
But
Conflict of interest.
I like Rick. I've never seen Grant, but I don't really hear you put a lot of people, hold a lot of people high. So I'll go with Grant, and then I'll throw in my big man in there.
Shout out Ojon Roofing.
so we're gonna go with Grant, Enrique, and Jermaine. Is that gonna be all right?
I'm not opposed.
That is the Hoop Talk vote, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to vote for Roberto Suarez, Dom Douglas, Enrique Bush Jr., Grant Gullett, and Jermaine Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be our 5 players that we select. Don't forget to vote. Voting concludes this Friday, November, 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Friday, 16th.
Whatever it is, this Friday concludes. I think
Friday's the 15th.
Friday's the 16th. Friday's the 15th.
Friday is the 15th. But either way, make sure y'all vote. Unless y'all can think of anything else that you wanted to bring up, I think that's the end of our podcast for today, right?
Next week, we will be visiting the WNBA again and some unrivaled stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
Some new stuff for women's basketball. happening.
If you guys have not heard,
Guys, we haven't talked about that yet, too.
rightfully
I haven't
so.
been keeping up as much, but I definitely will keep up more. I'll pretty much just watch Duke play. Well, that's the end of our podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all for stopping by. If you tuned in this long, man, you the real GOAT, for real, for real. If you haven't done it already, man, I'm disappointed in you. I was disappointed in you last week, and I'm going to continue to be disappointed in you, all right?
If you tuned in this far, drop a basketball emoji in the comments.
And hit me up on 2K.
So I know it's real.
We got you. With some money coming up soon.
Share with all your friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. Hoop Talk, the podcast, is out. Let's Hoop Talk next week.
Peace.